Right now, we're going to go to our Nicole Comstock because we do need to get an update on what is happening out there in Eaton Canyon, in Altadena. Nicole, you're there? There she is.
Yeah, we're here, Pat. We were just on the move right now because the fire actually was behind us here, but the winds are just blowing this thing down like a blowtorch, and it's now actually wrapped around us. We're on New York Drive, right by the cross of Altadena Drive here near Eaton Canyon, and you can see that it's just burning right along the hillside here. And such a shame that this is happening in Eaton Canyon because this is such a beautiful 190-acre nature preserve that has a lot of hiking trails, lots of wild animals up here. I actually come hiking here all the time, and I see, I've seen bear before, deers, coyotes, so there's like a really big natural ecosystem up here that's going to have a ton of damage. And we have a lot of embers blowing around with us in the wind right now, so we're just going to walk back toward our van to make sure everything's looking good down there. But we did park where we have a lot of fire engines. Over here, actually, if we can take a look to the right, I'm not sure how much you can see down here right now, but the fire did hop this side of New York Drive in Altadena now, so it is burning on the other side of the road, which is coming down toward this wash area. But this is a road that some people are actually using right now to evacuate with animals. So we've seen some people coming out with horse trailers in just the past couple of minutes who had to come unlock a gate at the last minute to get out of here. But we know that this area was already under a preventative public safety power outage because they knew that they had such a big wildfire risk with these really intense winds burning up here. And you can take a look at what it looks like in just the past couple of minutes out here. There's really not much that firefighters can do when you have, such dry conditions on the hillsides here after not having a lot of rain pretty much all season. Oh, watch out, Chris. Sorry, we had a car coming really fast. Trying not to get killed out here reporting on this. But, such dry vegetation out here. And then these really gusty winds, and this isn't even the worst of it yet. We're expecting winds could gust around maybe 70 miles an hour in this area later tonight. Hey, Chris, come this way a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me get a little bit closer. Oh, man. You can see how, we've only been doing this live shot for 2 minutes now. And how much, how much of a distance these flames have burned along the canyon here in Eaton Canyon. So it's moving super fast. You can probably hear the winds out here too. When we got here about maybe 15 minutes ago, we parked up the hill just a little bit, and immediately National Forest Service crews were moving their trucks down the hill. See all this wind out here. And so we're firefighters, so we parked down the hill too. We have our truck facing south, so if we need to get out of here really quickly, we can. But they are doing mandatory evacuation orders up here in Altadena right now. Also, I believe some parts of Pasadena. So they're telling people, if you haven't evacuated yet, if you live nearby, I'm gonna get out of the road here a little bit again. You really need to go right now. They know it's over 200 acres in size. It's probably a lot bigger than that already. And we got a lot of people up here who have these beautiful homes up in the hills. So they don't have a lot of time to get out when a fire is racing through this fast. Hey, Chris, if you can show over to the right here for a second. You see we have a fire on the other side of us too, kind of burning through this open space here. It's kind of hard to tell if this, I'm not quite sure if this part right here a little bit south of Altadena Drive is also part of the nature preserve. I believe it's just a little bit south of it, but as I mentioned, the fire has hopped one of these main roads up here, New York Drive, that you can use to get up to Eaton Canyon. And it's basically just burning through all this dry brush and all these trees here.
Nicole, it seemed like earlier Mike Rogers was giving us this update from the desk that the fires seem to be moving away from homes in Altadena. From your vantage point, can you tell if that's still the case, in which the wind is moving?
It's kind of hard to tell right now because, like I said, I hike up here pretty often. I usually go up Altadena Drive, which is just a little bit to the west of us here, and there's a ton of homes right there. I haven't seen anything get that close to that side. I think it's closer to New York Drive right now, maybe higher up in Eaton Canyon. So from what I've seen, I think they're basically just evacuating people, police, Pasadena police, in the neighborhoods that are the closest to this fire right now. So I don't think it's burning toward the homes, not from what I've seen out here, but it's burning along a lot of the main access points that you would get up to the nature preserve with tonight. And it looks a lot worse than it did just a couple of minutes ago. So this is really wind driven. Like when we were standing up the road just a bit, embers were blowing, like it looked like a quarter of a mile down the road immediately. So it's really fueling this thing. Like the fire started at, I think, about 6 o'clock, maybe 6:15 tonight. They said it when they got out here is about 10 acres in size. And an hour after that, they said it was already 200 plus acres. That's really the wind out here mixed with this really dry vegetation, which is what fire crews and state officials have been warning about since yesterday, telling people that this would really have the potential to do catastrophic destruction out here. And that's what we're seeing tonight. The good news is we haven't seen anyone getting trapped in any areas. It seems like all the people that live nearby have an evacuation plan in place because they live in the hills and they knew which road they could get out with. They had access points to leave with their animals. You can see some cars that are still driving the road down here tonight. But it's such a shame to see this burn because it's just such a big open space here in the San Gabriel Mountains. And with the winds like they are right now, you really have no idea like how much of this can burn, what it's going to look like when this fire's out. And, as we've been warning everybody all night, this is not the worst of the winds. We're expecting from 10 o'clock tonight, a couple of hours from now, until early tomorrow morning. That's when we're expecting to see the worst of the winds out here. So not a good thing that we have another fire starting out here now in the Altadena, Pasadena area, you guys.